The story of how Sherlock Holmes and Dr. John Watson meet is told in A Study in Scarlet, 1887. Watson, recently returned to London after serving as an army doctor in Afghanistan, is searching for affordable accommodations. A mutual friend, Stamford, introduces him to Holmes, who is also looking for a flatmate. Their meeting marks the beginning of one of literature's most iconic partnerships. Dr. John Watson has returned to England after sustaining injuries during the Second Anglo-Afghan War. He is recovering both physically and mentally, feeling unmoored and financially constrained. Watson is looking for a place to live that suits his modest budget. Stamford, an old acquaintance of Watson's, mentions that he knows someone who also needs a roommate. However, he warns Watson that the man is eccentric and peculiar. Stamford introduces Watson to Sherlock Holmes in a chemical laboratory at St. Bartholomew's Hospital. Holmes is conducting an experiment and enthusiastically exclaims that he has discovered a new chemical test for detecting hemoglobin in bloodstains, a significant breakthrough in forensic science. Watson is immediately struck by Holmes's energy and oddness. Holmes, in turn, surprises Watson by deducing he has recently returned from Afghanistan, based solely on Watson's appearance and behavior. This display of deduction intrigues Watson. Though he initially finds Holmes's personality difficult to comprehend, Holmes and Watson discuss their compatibility as potential roommates. Holmes admits he is prone to strange habits, such as playing the violin at odd hours and conducting chemical experiments. Watson, needing stability, agrees to share a flat with Holmes despite these quirks. They move into 221B Baker Street, which becomes their iconic home. Shortly after moving in, Watson is drawn into Holmes's world of detective work when a case involving a mysterious murder arises. A dead body is discovered in an abandoned house with the word rake, German for revenge, written on the wall in blood. Holmes uses his deductive reasoning to solve the case, revealing the murderer's motive of revenge. Watson is initially skeptical of Holmes's methods, but becomes fascinated by his abilities. He decides to document Holmes's cases, beginning with A Study in Scarlet. To share the brilliance of his new friend with the world, Holmes appreciates Watson's intelligence and rationality, seeing in him a dependable companion who can assist him in his work despite their differences. Holmes's logical and detached nature versus Watson's emotional and grounded personality. The two men develop mutual respect and camaraderie. This meeting not only establishes the foundation for their friendship, but also sets the stage for the numerous adventures they would share, shaping detective fiction forever. Inspector Gregson and Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard consult Holmes about a bizarre murder. Dr. John Watson is much more than a chronicler or assistant to Sherlock Holmes. His humanity, emotional depth, and relatability balance Holmes's cold logic and eccentricity, making the stories more engaging and accessible to readers. Watson serves as the moral compass and emotional anchor of the duo. Acting as the bridge between Holmes's intellect and the real world, Watson often sympathizes with victims and their families, showing deep concern for their suffering. In The Adventure of the Speckled Band, he is visibly moved by Helen Stoner's fear and desperation, providing her with reassurance and kindness that Watson's unwavering support for Holmes extends beyond their cases. Even when Holmes is abrasive or dismissive, Watson patiently endures his moods. Offering companionship and understanding, Watson has a strong sense of right and wrong, often questioning the ethics of Holmes's methods. While Holmes focuses solely on solving the mystery, Watson ensures the emotional and moral dimensions of the situation are considered. Unlike Holmes, who suppresses emotions, Watson openly expresses his feelings. His fear, admiration, and even occasional frustration with Holmes are evident in his narrations, making him relatable to readers. That I end the final problem. Watson is devastated by Holmes's presumed death at the Reichenbach Falls, describing his grief and loss in poignant detail. That Watson's bravery is a defining trait. Despite not possessing Holmes's intellectual abilities, he never hesitates to face danger for the sake of justice or to support his friend. That I end the Hound of the Baskervilles. Watson ventures into the eerie moors, often alone, to protect Sir Henry Baskerville and investigate the mysterious occurrences. His loyalty to Holmes is unshakable, as he follows him into perilous situations without question. That Watson's kindness extends to everyone he meets, from clients to strangers. In The Sign of the Four, he treats the troubled Mary Morstan with genuine care and respect, eventually falling in love with and marrying her, but he also shows compassion for criminals in certain cases, recognizing the human element behind their actions. For instance, he sympathizes with Jefferson Hope in A Study in Scarlet. Understanding the tragic circumstances that drove him to murder, Watson is far from perfect, which makes him relatable. He admits his own shortcomings, such as his inability to match Holmes's brilliance, his occasional impatience, and his struggles with his own emotions. Holmes often describes Watson as his Boswell, a reference to James Boswell, the biographer of Samuel Johnson. But Watson is far more. He provides the emotional stability Holmes lacks, ensuring their cases don't devolve into cold exercises of logic. While Holmes might dismiss a client's emotions as irrelevant to solving the case, Watson listens to their concerns with genuine interest, making clients feel heard and respected. That Watson's humanity softens Holmes's harsher qualities. Where Holmes's brusque demeanor might alienate others, Watson's warmth and tact help maintain relationships. In A Scandal in Bohemia, Watson's willingness to assist Holmes in his schemes, such as creating a diversion during the operation, shows his ability to blend practicality with loyalty. That Watson's love story with Mary Morstan in The Sign of the Four highlights his capacity for love and companionship. His gentle courtship of Mary contrasts with Holmes's disinterest in romance, emphasizing their differences. His marriage to Mary introduces a new dynamic into the Holmes-Watson relationship, as Watson balances his duties as a husband with his loyalty to Holmes. That Watson's friendship with Holmes is one of deep mutual respect, even if Holmes rarely shows it outright. Watson's unwavering belief in Holmes's abilities, despite occasional doubts or frustrations, exemplifies his loyalty. In The Adventure of the Dying Detective, Watson's desperation to save Holmes, whom he believes is gravely ill, demonstrates his profound concern for his friend. While Holmes is often seen as the dominant figure, Watson takes on a protective role in many stories. Whether it's ensuring Holmes eats during long cases or accompanying him on dangerous missions, Watson cares for Holmes's well-being. That Watson's narrative style brings emotional depth to the stories. He captures not only the facts of the case but also the atmosphere, tension, and personal stakes involved. His vivid descriptions of fear in The Adventure of the Speckled Band or on The Hound of the Baskervilles immerse readers in the story. Watson never shies away from admitting his own limitations, whether it's being puzzled by a mystery or being outwitted by Holmes. This honesty makes his accounts authentic and engaging. Watson serves as the reader's surrogate, asking the questions they would ask and reacting as they might in extraordinary situations. His curiosity and wonder mirror the audience's, making the stories accessible. Dr. Watson's humanity is what makes the Sherlock Holmes stories timeless. His emotional warmth, courage, and moral integrity balance Holmes's brilliance and eccentricity, creating a duo that resonates with readers across generations. Without Watson's perspective, Holmes might come across as too cold or detached. With Watson, the stories gain heart and relatability. The brilliance of the Sherlock Holmes stories lies in their diversity. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle crafted a wide range of cases that showcased Holmes's deductive genius, Watson's steadfast loyalty, and their ability to navigate an array of crimes, from gruesome murders to mysterious thefts. Each case has its unique challenges, settings, and characters, offering readers a fascinating glimpse into Victorian society and its complexities. Murder is one of the most common elements in the Holmes canon, but the variety of motives and methods keeps the cases intriguing. That a young woman fears for her life after her sister dies under mysterious circumstances, uttering the cryptic words, "the speckled band." Holmes uncovers a sinister plot involving a trained snake used as a murder weapon. The case blends elements of Gothic horror with a clever scientific explanation. A retired sea captain is found harpooned in his cabin. Holmes deduces that the murderer is a former sailor seeking revenge. The case delves into the rough lives of sailors, revealing themes of betrayal and vengeance. Holmes often solves thefts that involve high stakes, whether it's missing jewels, stolen documents, or priceless heirlooms. That a stolen gem is found inside a goose, leading Holmes and Watson through London streets during Christmas time to uncover the thief. This lighthearted case showcases Holmes's ability to solve crimes with humor and grace while exploring class differences in Victorian London. A banker entrusts a priceless family heirloom to Holmes after a theft implicates his son. Holmes uncovers a plot involving deception and greed. The case highlights familial loyalty and betrayal that Holmes's expertise is called upon to find missing persons or uncover the truth behind strange disappearances, that a hydraulic engineer is attacked after being hired for a secretive job at a remote estate. Holmes investigates and reveals a counterfeit coin operation. The case combines a kidnapping with industrial intrigue. Reflecting the technological advancements of the time, the son of a duke disappears from a prestigious boarding school. Holmes uncovers a complex plot involving greed, blackmail, and murder. This case explores class disparities and the dangers of privilege. Some cases involve sensitive national or international matters, demonstrating Holmes's role as a defender of the British Empire, that a crucial government treaty goes missing from a diplomat's office. Holmes solves the case, restoring honor and preventing a diplomatic crisis. The story examines themes of honor, betrayal, and the importance of diplomacy set during World War I. Holmes comes out of retirement to thwart a German spy. This espionage tale shows Holmes's loyalty to his country. Unlike most cases, this story takes on a global political scope. Holmes often assists high-profile clients who face ruin due to blackmail or scandal. The King of Bohemia seeks Holmes's help to retrieve a compromising photograph from Irene Adler, a woman he once courted. Holmes is outwitted by Adler, who escapes with the photograph but promises not to use it maliciously. This case features a strong female character who bests Holmes. Earning his lasting admiration, Holmes and Watson infiltrate the home of a notorious blackmailer to retrieve incriminating letters. The case takes a dark turn when they witness Milverton's murder by one of his victims. This morally complex story blurs the line between justice and vigilantism. Holmes encounters cases that initially appear to involve the supernatural, but are ultimately explained through logic. The legend of a demonic hound terrorizing the Baskerville family forms the basis of this iconic story. Holmes uncovers that the hound is a trained dog used to scare and murder Sir Henry Baskerville. The blend of gothic horror and rational deduction makes this one of the most atmospheric cases. A family appears to die from supernatural causes while reading in their home. Holmes discovers a rare poison was burned, creating a hallucinogenic effect. The case explores folklore and fear, demonstrating Holmes's ability to debunk myths. Holmes's cases often touch on societal issues of Victorian England, such as class, gender, and morality. A young governess takes a job under strange conditions, leading Holmes to uncover a sinister family secret. The case highlights the vulnerability of women in Victorian society and the exploitation of the working class. A gruesome mystery involving two severed ears in a box reveals themes of jealousy, infidelity, and violence in domestic relationships. The story reflects the dark undercurrents of human emotion and its devastating consequences. Holmes often encounters cases with strange and seemingly inexplicable elements that require his unique approach. Cryptic stick figure drawings lead Holmes to unravel a murder and a tragic love story. This case demonstrates Holmes's ability to decode obscure clues and solve highly unusual puzzles. A series of Napoleon busts are smashed across London. Holmes discovers that a stolen pearl is hidden in one of them, linking the case to a criminal gang. The case combines art, crime, and Holmes's trademark attention to detail. Some cases test Holmes's character, morality, and even physical limits. Holmes pretends to be gravely ill to lure a criminal into a confession, testing Watson's loyalty and his own ability to endure hardship. The case showcases Holmes's theatrical side and his willingness to put himself in danger for justice. Holmes is enraged when Watson is injured during the case, revealing his deep care for his friend. The case highlights Holmes's emotional depth and protective instincts.